Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Tusa Eggers here. Kind of a rainy day. It's only been one day since I posted the video about, we're calling it Reba, but the Centurion. And I started working on that water pump issue yesterday. Got the old one out, got it all put back together, and the old one came out fine. I flushed the whole system, and here we go, starting already. Got the new one put back in. Started snugging up all the bolts, and the very bottom bolt is stripped out. Can't even see it. And I thought, you know, I actually got a longer bolt, threw some washers on it to shorten it up just enough to grab a couple threads. I figured I'd go with it, and then this morning I woke up, I was like, you know what? Let's just do it right the first time. Lesson learned. I preach it to my daughter all the time. Do it right the first time. Take the time to do it right the first time. So I'm gonna rip this thing back off. And go figure, you know, we were in town this morning, we go to the gym in the morning, and I looked around. Nobody had both gaskets for this thing. It's got the water pump, then a gasket, then a backing plate, then another gasket, and all of that assembly gets bolted to the engine. Nobody had the gasket set. They only had the backing plate gasket. So I'm gonna try to take this back off without screwing up the gasket between the pump and the backing plate. If that one can stay usable, then I'll clean off the backside of the backing plate. We'll drill out, tap that hole for a helicoil. We'll get a helicoil in there. Then we'll reassemble it again. You know, always time to do it right the second time. AVE says that. And of course, it's raining today. So I got a tarp rigged up here. Yeah, just one thing after another, you know, and it's scramble time for us up here in the north because winter's coming quick. We still have probably 80 face cord of firewood to process. Fortunately, most of that, at least 60 of it is for next year. So if that part doesn't get done, it's not the end of the world. But we still need about 20-ish more face for us to make it through winter. I've got 35 face that's already, you know, dried for it, seasoned for a year, stacked under the woodshed. But yeah, so I'll show you what this looks like once I get in there. Once I get the water pump off, I'll show you the hole and how I'm gonna fix that with the helicoil. All right, so I got the water pump out. The water pump to plate, backing plate gasket stayed intact. Apparently the right stuff, the gasket sealant that I put on there, holy cow, that's great. The gasket itself split in half, so that's good there. I'm not worried about that other gasket. Now, I'm in a little bit of a pickle because the hole, it's the bottom hole. The harmonic balancer is in the way for just a drill with the bit to get a square drive in there. This guy is close, but the chuck on it actually hits the harmonic balancer. I don't have enough room to put an extension on it because the radiator's there, so I think I'm just gonna try to fiddle with it. It's very, very, very close using this. This little set here, just as a, oh by the way, this is a helicoil set I got off Amazon for like, I don't know, I wanna say it was like 50 bucks, something like that. Comes with like 10 or 15 helicoils and all the sizes. But you gotta be extra, extra careful with these. Don't just get it and start using it, because look at what they do. This is the drill bit they give you for the 5/16 helicoil. And I went and labeled all of them for the right size. So 1/4 inch takes an H drill bit, 5/16 takes a Q. It actually says 5/16 on this bit. And if you measure it, 0.3105, if we go to fractional 5/16. That is the wrong drill bit. And they did that for every one of these. The drill bit they included with the kit is an actual 5/16 drill bit, not the correct Q drill bit in order to drill out for your 5/16 helicoil. Be extra, extra careful. I did it once. Now, fortunately, the drill bit they give you is too small for the helicoil, so you can always step it up. Because when you go to tap a 5/16 helicoil hole, when you've only drilled a 5/16 hole, you're not gonna be able to. There's just too much material still there. The tap won't be able to cut through it. So watch out for that. Anyway, I labeled it because of that. I knew that it was wrong. So I'm gonna jump in here and try to drill this out, and if I get it, fantastic. All right, getting our first real look in the engine bay here. So I was able to get it. I used this 90-degree drill bit holder or chuck. You can see how the chuck here hits the harmonic balancer, but I was able to start it with the drill bit recessed in the chuck a little bit, and then I actually reset the drill in the chuck so that it would ride in between there. This outer lip that I'm pointing at here would ride in that valley there, and little by little I got to go all the way through. And so now she's all the way in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tap it and get our helicoil in there, slap it back together. All right, so I think that actually went really well. All right, the tap is all the way through the valve, the timing cover here. I'm assuming that's the valve timing cover, or part of it anyway. So honestly, this is a questionable practice, all right, because you don't want the shave chips or the chips coming off this tap to fall into your oil, right? So what I did is I used this cutting lubricant, and goobered it up both in the hole and on the tap, and that helped keep the shaving stuck to the tap. And then I had my vacuum sitting right here, and I would only go like 2 turns, then back it out and suck all the shavings out, back and forth. But now it's all the way in, pretty smooth. It seems like it's pretty square. So yeah, I think this is gonna work out just fine. Now I just got to clean those new threads out, and then get the helicoil in there. I'll throw some Loctite on there when I throw the helicoil in. I wonder, maybe I should magnetize my helicoil pusher. Let me show you what I mean. So now that part's done, once the helicoil is in place, there's a little tab on these guys. So these dudes got a little tang on them, the drive tang. And when you're done driving in your helicoil, you're supposed to break it off. See that little tang right there? You're supposed to punch that off when you're done, and I don't want that to fall in the oil either. Yeah, I'll bet I could magnetize this guy so that when I punch that off of there, it'll stay. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna try it first. All right, got our Loctite. This is my magnetizer. I actually just did a short about this. Can just run this through here, and it will magnetize this rod or tool. Oh crap, I think these are stainless. Yep, they're stainless. All right, so what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna put some grease in the end of this guy. That way, once it's caught in there, it'll hopefully stick to the grease. Eek. It should. I think it will. Oh man, this is scary. I don't know. I do not like the idea of this. And there's no other way to get this thing in there either. This is where I think those certs, what are they called? Helicerts or something like that. That would work better for this because you're not breaking anything off in there. So even if I did manage to get that thing in there, it doesn't break off until way up here on the corner. Come on. The break off is way up here. See that little indent right there? And that won't pass the threads coming back out. So how do I get it out of there? Let me think. All right, so here's the plan. I'm gonna drive it in. Fortunately, the threads in there are at least 3/4 of an inch, I'd say, which is at least twice the depth of this helicoil. And I know I don't need quite that much in there. So I'm gonna drive this about till just the first couple threads are in the hole, okay? Because I want my thread locker to hold this in place. Once that's done, I'll pull this out. It actually comes with a punch. I kind of forgot about that, but I don't think I'm gonna use that. And if I do, it's gonna be very light. But what I plan on doing is, since there'll still be, you know, a good 1/4 inch of the threaded hole part after that, I'm gonna take some grease here, stuff it in that hole, and use these itty bitty little pliers and try to get in there and wiggle it loose and pull it back out. Because if it falls in there, I'm gonna have to pull that timing chain cover off. I'm not gonna chance wrecking the whole engine. So here we go. All right, it went in nice and smooth. Take some grease, pliers, and the punch. I'm gonna try it with just the pliers first. I don't think these are strong enough. Okay, so I'm gonna try the punch just to bend it, get it started. No. I hope I didn't knock that through, son of a gun. I would highly doubt that pushed through with all that grease right there. I think I knocked it in. Holy crap, I got it. I thought I was done. I actually shut down shop. We had to go somewhere, come back, and I just got back out here. I mean, crap, when I shut down, it was noon, and it's 4:15 now. I gotta show you this. Holy crap. So I tried little tweezers, tried all sorts of stuff. Started with some, you know, micro mini plier looking things. Come on, focus. Micro mini pliers. And I tried these little tweezers, being super careful not to push it in there any further. Mini tweezers, you know, using the mirror in there. And then I took this chunk of wire, just some copper, probably 14 gauge. And holy crap, I can't believe I got this out of here. It was the grease. That's all that did it, was that grease. Stuck that little piece to it. So I turned the edge of the, made a little spoon basically. I turned it sideways, pounded it flat, and I was able to stick that in the hole and kind of just scrape along the back side. And there it is. That's the tang that came off the back of that helicoil. I seriously was expecting to have to take off the whole timing chain cover, redo the main crank seal and everything. Wow. It was the grease. That's what did it. That grease stopped it from flying in there. Damn. So close. That was a close call, people. I feel like stopping right now and just calling it a night. How much luck can you get in one day, huh? But you know what? I even tried a toothpick and I just had it stuck to me. Well, like I said, you got to think ahead, all right? And I suppose I could have just run it, but I'm sure this is how it works. That little piece would have got in there and it would have got caught in a crank journal or something, and just, because that's stainless steel. It's not like a little piece of lead or copper that would get chewed up. No, stainless steel, it would be doing the chewing. So, okay. I'm gonna get back to it now, and I will update you as I go. It's looking pretty good though. That helicoil is in. Let me take you down there right quick. Holy crap, and look at this. This bumper is so damn tall, I gotta have a stool, a knee pad, just to get up in here. But, yep, there it is. So that's the one with the helicoil in it now. And she threads in good too. Let me grab a bolt real quick. All right, so this is the actual bolt that came out of it the first time. So that's the proper length. And oh man, I can't believe that worked. I mean, I can. If you take the proper precautions and take your time, you can get most of these things to work. Now it's nice and snug. It's not loose. I have no doubts that that's going to be able to tighten this down, no problem. Cool. Man, that had me sweating bullets. And do that with your bolts. When you take your bolts out, the water pump, I took my bolts out one at a time. And actually I used the new water pump, and I punched holes in the hole pattern, and then I took the old bolts out, or took the bolts out of the old water pump, cleaned them up one at a time, put them in the corresponding bolt pattern. This way you don't get mixed up. You don't even have to think about it. Wow, man, I'm just tickled pink right now that worked out. So I'm gonna get this thing slapped back together now. I gotta clean up the water pump seal, the back half, and get everything prepped. And hopefully next time you're looking at this, the whole front end will be put back together, and I can go ahead and fill it. I'm gonna fill it with water and flush, and then we'll go ahead and start it and, let it heat up. Run the flush through it, in solid 20 minutes or so. I'll keep an eye on the temperature. And then we'll shut it down, and then I'm gonna drain that flush, and then we'll start it back, and then we'll refill it again. Depending on how the flush looks, what I drain out, If that looks good, we'll go ahead and just drain all that. After we're draining it out, we'll go ahead and fill it back up, put the thermostat back in, because I'm not going to put the thermostat in right now. And hopefully done. All right, it's been a little over 3 hours. Kind of started dinking around a little bit, redid the battery terminals. Actually, I'm just going to show you all real quick what's going on. So everything turned out pretty good, I think. No real issues putting everything back together. Went ahead and redid my battery terminal here. It was pretty rotten and it didn't fit very good. I'll get the positive one later. It's at least holding for now. I used this Blue Devil stuff here and filled it up with just some, tap water right from the hose. So I think I am ready to crank it up and see how she works. She is very cold-blooded. The choke cable that the previous owner or whoever did this mod, it just doesn't work. So I'll be fixing that real soon here. All right, so that's it for this video. I drove it around the yard. Everything seems to be holding pressure. I don't see any new leaks. The rest of it's just gonna be, drain and flush it again and then refill it with the proper antifreeze coolant mixture, coolant, water mixture, whatever. Stick around, I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch more of these videos on this truck. I love this thing, it's so cool. But hey, thanks for watching, appreciate it. Please hit that like and subscribe. If you got any questions or comments, throw it in the comments section and we'll catch you on the next video. Keep yanking on them bootstraps.